What's up, you guys? It's your girl Panashe, and we're back with another podcast episode. Today, I'm joined by my amazing co host Terry, and along with him, I'm joined by my very own sister, Vimbai. Welcome to the pod, Vimbai. First time being here. She's gonna be a regular co host, guest host. So it's gonna be fun. And today we're going to be talking about body positivity, loving yourself through whatever that you're shown on social media, whatever you're exposed to, remembering who you are at the core. So today I'm going to have my guest co-host Vimbai introduce herself.
Well, thank you for having me, Panashe. I am honored to be on your podcast today. Well, hi guys, I am Vimbai, and as Panashe said, I am her sister. Today we're going to be talking about body positivity, so let's get started.
Terry, do you want to say anything? Catch up with the peeps?
Hey, yes, as usual, welcome to our episode. Again, we're excited to have you joining in as we sit down, as we brew and you pour, listening and enjoying. Hopefully, this is going to be helpful and helping somebody.
Awesome, you guys. So, Vimbai, can you kick us off by defining what body positivity is?
Okay, sure thing. Well, body positivity is basically being comfortable and being confident in your own skin. It's being able to look into the mirror and absolutely love everything about your body from head to toe.
I agree. It's sort of a hard goal to reach. I feel like it takes time. I definitely didn't have that kind of positivity in my teenage years. But as part of the Small People Association, we sort of have some stories to share with you. I know it's kind of hard to believe that we go through body positivity issues as well, but a lot of times people look at us and they're like, oh, so you're 12, huh? And we're like, no, we kind of passed that stage. Wimbai, have you gone through anything lately?
All the time. Like, I'm 17 and I can pass for a 12-year-old because of my height. This other day, I was in the mall with my sister, right? So we're at the counter, and this woman looks at me and she's like, how old are you? And I actually laughed because I already knew where the conversation was going. I was like, hey, I'm 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looked at me, she's like, how old is your sister? And then I was like, she's 11. And then she just smiled, she's like, oh my gosh, you guys are smaller. I'm like, yeah, we're small. Yeah.
Duh.
But the good thing is that she said it in a positive way. It wasn't in a negative or anything like that. So I think this happens quite a lot. Have you ever experienced anything like this?
Unfortunately, it's not always in a positive way. Recently, I was doing my driving lessons and my instructor looked at me and he was like, how old are you? You know, the usual start of the conversation. And I was like, oh, I'm 23. And then he was like, huh, really? You don't look 23. You look 14. And I was like, yeah, good genes. And he was like, oh, so what's the problem? You don't eat? And I was like, bro, I do eat. Like, duh. And he's like, so what's the problem? You don't grow? And I was like, oh, ouch. That's kind of rude because I'm trying, okay? But I think it's just weird to automatically assume that someone is not growing. Like, it made me feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me. Am I not growing? Like, what? But I'm kind of curious. So, Terry, like, as a guy, do you go through any issues? I know you're not part of the short people association or tiny people, but
Stand
what do you
up.
go through?
Apparently, but it happens to everybody. It might be one thing or the other. It might be the short people's associations, which I totally and remember. I'm short people's team supporter. I stand with them. They're my
We
people.
love short people supporters.
Yes. So that being said, of course, yes, you do meet certain things. Either you're a male or you are a female, you're definitely gonna meet people who are probably gonna throw a line or two that's going to definitely offend you.
That's true.
And yes, it's real. It happens. It's not only about height. It might be about your board. I remember I kept, I think the body structure I have now, I had it for the past, I don't know how many years. So somebody be looking at you and be like, ha, what's happening with you? Do you eat? Or like what you said, do you eat? Or you don't gain? What are you suffering? Are you stressing or something like that? But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I think I'm actually fit and good like that. So yes, it's real. It's happening, man. It's happening.
I remember there was a time someone asked me if I was sick. They were like, "Oh, are you sick?" And then they were like, "Oh, are books so hard that like you're losing weight?" I was like, "Nah, I'm okay. Thanks for the care." Cause I always think it's out of good intentions. But do you ever have people go like, "Yo, dude, why don't you have a six pack?" Or do you ever feel like you need to have a six pack, big muscles?
Yeah, yeah, of course. At times it's not being said, or rather, sometimes just say it in action. Somebody can come and be like, "Oh no, let me help you." The thing is, they helping me because they think probably I'm not capable because I don't have the huge muscles or the six pack, and it doesn't mean I'm flat pack. I'm not one pack, by the way. I have something, but it's definitely not six. But yeah, I have something.
So, to start off our topic, we thought it was really important for us to hear what you had to say. So, we put an Instagram question and answer thing. And Vimbai is just going to read some of the responses. And thank you for answering, it means a lot to us.
Yes, thank you guys for responding. So I got quite a lot of response. Some were very different. They really opened my eyes, and I'm gonna read a couple of them. So the question was, what is body positivity, and how is it hard to be positive about your body in today's world? First response was being comfortable in your own skin without taking into consideration what others think of you. Now, this one is a really nice one. It's a really good one. Second one is certain body shapes are considered quality of sexy humans. And if you don't have, yeah, I know, it's so interesting, right? And if you don't reach the social expectations, then you are not pretty or you're not handsome and whatnot. The other one was it takes accepting your body and it takes accepting your body despite your size or your height or your weight. What do you think about
Those
that
are really
one?
good ones. I think those are spot on. Accepting yourself, which is, I feel like that's a journey that develops over time because growing up, you're shown that, oh, the perfect person looks like this. And then you don't look like that. So you're like, oh, so am I not perfect? So
Right? In all those
definitely, I
movies you
agree.
watch.
It's always the skinny, tall models, and then you don't look like that because you're a regular human being, and also you don't have editing done or cameras or filters. So yeah.
Right? Another thing is that I feel like even if we all ate the same or even if we all did the same exercises, we still wouldn't look the same. Like, I'm not gonna suddenly look
Facts.
like you because I'm eating what you eat or because I'm exercising the same way you do. So, I'm not really sure why people are so stressed about it? It's like, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Wow.
Yes, Terry, go
Okay, I
ahead.
think I think that what the community or what the world has designed for everyone to feel like, oh, this is the look that everyone has to obtain is something that really affects everyone on a day-to-day living. So I am a guy, I look at somebody who has a six pack, who's acting a movie, who's taking off his shirt, and I'm thinking, oh wow, that's where I should reach. But does it mean that my body can reach that without hurting myself? Number one, number two, without maybe using as much money to reach where they are. Remember, this people probably has got so much money they can do whatever they want to their borders. But now to the rest of the world, it's, oh, I need to obtain that. So should I live my life feeling like, oh, I'm not the person or I'm not good enough just because I've looked at somebody and they are presented in a certain way that the world thinks, oh, this is the better way? Should I also be a person who has weight and feel like, oh, I am actually normal, or I can only be skinny and tall and,
Yeah, like Vimbai say, like we might eat the same things, but our bodies will react differently. And I think that's actually one of the really beautiful things about life. Like we all look different. If we all look the same, that would be super boring. But we get to appreciate each other's differences and be like, oh, girl, you look good, you look fine. I love your hips, and be like, oh, girl, I love your height. So
You're
it's kind of
slaying.
amazing. So what else did you read, Vimbai?
Okay, let me read out this response. Accepting your body as it is despite all flaws, practically the ones you can't change. Now this one is really true because as we said, we're short, we're small. This is not something I can change. I can't just somehow become tall overnight. Like it doesn't work like that. So there are just certain things that you can't change and you have to accept yourself for who you are.
And I think some people are just born with like different metabolisms, and some
That's
people are
true.
born with like families that have people with bigger curves, and that's actually celebrated, and we should all celebrate that. And then other people are born with genes where they have like smaller, regular sized bodies, and that's okay too.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It needs to feel okay to be different. It needs to feel right to be different. Imagine if the world had the same people that are same height, same everything, and that's how it's all about. Imagine, yes, exactly. So it's better off when there is difference. So what do we need to do to feel like, oh yeah, I belong though I am different?
I think that we just need to accept ourselves, firstly, and also as a person on the outside, when you look at someone, don't go and tell them something that they already know about themselves. I feel like a lot of times when I was talking about African aunties who come up to you and be like, "Oh, girl, you've gained weight, or you're too much, and like you need to lose weight," and that person is probably
No, 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 this one. They'll be like, oh, what are you eating these days? Like, oh, are you studying too much? What's going on? Are you
yeah,
stressed?
and you're probably as the person you're already thinking about it, like. You know that you want to lose weight, or you know that you want to gain weight, and then someone else coming to you and saying that, it just makes you feel like, oh, so there is something wrong with me. You're not motivated, but instead they bring you down. So I think it's important to don't go and tell someone something they already know about themselves. Instead, go speak life, speak positivity, speak love, and that will actually be more beneficial than you saying something that's totally unnecessary. And just remembering that there's a person behind that body. There's someone with feelings. There's someone who has emotions. It's not just the body that you see, but there's also like the heart that the person has. So it's important to always be sensitive to that. But I think people had like other comments. One of the interesting ones that Vimbai was talking about. Can you read that one?
Yeah. So let's see this other view that other people have. This one says, I love how supportive the society can be, but not when it encourages obesity and bad health.
That's interesting because I feel like society never encourages obesity or bad health, but I think it encourages accepting people where they are while they work towards where they want to be. Because if we always look at someone as, oh, obese, oh, bad health, like you don't know what that person is doing to work towards their goal. Like losing weight actually takes time. It's not like an overnight thing, and it's not easy. People fall down, they get back up. So society doesn't encourage bad health or obesity, but they encourage accepting people where they are while they work towards where they are going, so that we're not just hammering down on people, saying negative things about people, but we are also remembering that they're on a journey and going along with them on that journey with love. Like, what do you think, Terry?
I think the world, or rather everyone, needs somebody who stands with them no matter what's happening to them. might be they're going through tough situations in life, and this is one of the biggest issues that probably communities do not really address. So imagine something is happening to someone who is suffering from obesity, or somebody, people saying, oh, you've gained so much. And should I be the person who goes to them and tell them, oh, you are getting weight so much? Or I can be that positive thought that they need, or I can be that positive voice that they need to hear. So I'm going to be there out there encouraging people. So it's a choice that we can decide to do as humans.
That's true, guys. Let me just add on to this. So I'm going to be
For
reading right
sure.
now. It says, while I agree that making fun of someone overweight is wrong, you cannot lie and call their body beautiful or that they're normal and healthy. See, now why I disagree with this is because just what does it say? It says overweight, right? So you can look at someone and you can think, you can, I don't know, somehow see that they're overweight, whatever people call it. But how do you know that that person is not healthy? Because for me, I myself, to tell you the truth, I barely exercise.
Facts.
I barely walk around, nothing. So for me, for sure, I'm unhealthy. So like, how do you look at me and say I'm healthy? And how do you look at someone else and say they're unhealthy? Like, I'm not understanding it. What makes someone say that?
Yeah, that's actually true. Like someone, well, like healthiness depends on your height, it depends on your weight, it depends on the physical activity that you put in. So someone might actually be working 4 times a day, eating super healthy, but their metabolism is just different. So they could be healthy, but then according to your image of healthy, that doesn't look healthy, and you're there judging the person when you don't know anything. So yep. We're me and Vimbai definitely not healthy. Like we need to do more.
For sure. Okay, let me tell you something. This one time, you know how I said I don't exercise? So I was like, hey, I was talking to someone. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to start exercising to be healthier. And they looked at me and they were just like, why? So you can be blown away by the wind? And I was like, what do you mean?
Rude. Blown away by the wind. Is that what we look
Yeah,
like? Feather
literally.
dusters.
They were like, are you sure you want to do that? The wind would just blow you away. I was so speechless. I literally didn't know what to say.
See, it's comments like that you make that make people just go like, oh, okay, I'll just go chill in my room and eat a bucket of ice
Right.
cream. Like, why even try? But Vimbai, what advice do you have to people? What steps do you think they can take every day to sort of improve their body image of themselves?
Okay. Now this is something that someone told me to do. So, you know how most of the time you just wake up and you go on your phone, you start scrolling on Instagram, you're looking at all these celebrities and all these influencers, and then your day is just ruined because that's the first thing you do in the morning. So instead, what I was
Facts.
told is that every morning you just wake up, you stand in front of the mirror, you look at yourself, and you start saying all the things you like, even the things that you don't like. Because if you do that for
I'm beautiful.
exactly, if you do this for
I love my
28
pimples.
days, it starts to become a habit. And then eventually you start to believe it and you just start to feel better about yourself. To me, that seems like good advice.
And guys, I've actually been trying something, going on YouTube and typing self affirmations. Like if you want biblical ones, right? If you want biblical ones, if you want just general ones, they make you go like, I'm beautiful. I love my stretch marks. I love my pimples. Love yourself.
I'm worthy, all these things.
I love those. Like sometimes negative thoughts just attack you, and it's rude. But Terry, do negative thoughts ever attack you?
Apparently, yes. Sometimes I feel, let's say, inferior about the way I talk and the way I present myself in front of people, the way I present myself at work. Will they accept me? Will they accept the way I look, the stature, the color of my skin? It comes right deep inside of me. But like you said, I guess it points back to just knowing what works for you. What are you gonna do about it? Am I just gonna sit on it and believe that, oh, this is the end of my world, or I'm going to stand up and stand for what I believe is the best? So because I am what I am and I cannot really change how I look stature wise, so I'm gonna accept it and start working on what can be worked on. So I can accept my body, I can accept my height, I can accept how I look, I can even accept my own voice. Then I'll start working from there moving forward. So yeah, that's what I think.
Girl, get up. Boy, get up. Man, get up. Woman, get up. You can do this.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. It's been a pleasure being with you and sitting with you, brewing the coffee with you as we brew it and
We
pour
pour
it.
it.
Yeah. Remember to write on the description. There's a link over there. You can write as an anonymous writer. We can be hearing from you, and hopefully on our next episode we will be able to read some messages from you guys. You have an amazing day. Remember, we Brew We Pour team loves you. Peace.
Thank you for having me.
Love you guys. Bye.